From the outside, it looks almost modest. The Renault FT, the most advanced tank of the First World War, it's small, squat, and tidy compared to the hulking British giants that came before it. But if we peel away its steel skin, the view inside is anything but tidy. It's a cramped, sweating, deafening machine that turns two men into moving parts. This is life inside the Renault FT, not as a museum piece, but as a workplace on the front line. Let's start at the very front. Here, a narrow slit of light marks the driver's world. There's no comfortable seat, just a thin metal bench and a backrest bolted to the hull. The driver's legs straddle control levers and pedals, his boots just inches above hot, vibrating machinery. In front of his face, a hinged visor with two viewing slits offers a tiny letterbox view of the battlefield. When that visor is closed for combat, he sees little more than a strip of churned mud and the backs of friendly soldiers trying to keep up. Behind him, the engine snarls. One of the most radical things about the FT is its layout. Driver in front, engine in the rear, and the fighting compartment in the middle. It's the formula every modern tank still follows, but here, it means the engine is practically in the same room as the crew. The four-cylinder petrol motor turns the confined space into a furnace. Hot exhaust pipes run along the hull, radiating heat. There's no insulation. The steel shell conducts every single vibration, every shudder, straight into the bones of the men inside. Now, let's climb up into the small turret that crowns the tank. This is the commander's office, gunner station, and observation post, all rolled into one metal drum barely wide enough for a man's shoulders. He stands on a crude footrest, knees bent to absorb the constant jolts. In front of him is either a short 37mm cannon or a machine gun, its breech almost touching his chest. Ammunition racks line the turret walls and spill down into the hull. There is nowhere soft to sit, nowhere to stretch. Every single surface is hard, sharp, or hot. Communication between the two men is basic and physical. With the engine roaring inches away, speech is useless. The commander kicks the driver's shoulders or taps his helmet to signal turns and stops. Sometimes a crude speaking tube connects them, but even then, words dissolve into the overwhelming noise. A misunderstood kick could mean a turn too early, a stall on a slope, or a tank exposed to enemy fire at the worst possible moment. The air inside is its own kind of enemy. Petrol fumes seep from the fuel tank. Cordite smoke from the gun hangs in a thick haze after each shot, stinging eyes and throats. Oil vapor mists off the gearbox. In summer, the temperature can climb to unbearable levels. Crewmen described sweat pouring off them. Their uniforms soaked through. Fresh air only comes through narrow cracks, vision ports, or the turret hatch, all of which had to be kept as closed as possible to stop bullets and shrapnel. And that brings us to the armor. It was thin, just enough steel to deflect rifle bullets and shell splinters at a distance, but not enough to stop a direct hit. From the inside, you see the truth. Just a few centimeters of metal separate a man's body from the chaos of the battlefield. When a shell landed close, the interior could erupt in a shower of razor-sharp metal fragments called spall, slashing faces, hands, and throats. Now imagine the moment this tank lurches into no man's land. The two men inside feel every shell burst as a physical punch through the hull. The driver squints, trying not to lose the tank ahead. The commander peers out, trying to spot enemy guns. Mud slams against the hull. The tracks grind over shell holes, debris, sometimes even bodies. Each jolt threatens to twist an ankle or slam a head against bare metal. Between battles, the scene changes. The engine is finally off. For the first time in hours, there is something like silence. The two men share a canteen of water, maybe some food. There's nowhere to lie down, so they slump where they are, their backs against cold steel. The tank smells of sweat, fuel, and scorched earth. On paper, the Renault FT's design looks clean, almost elegant. In reality, every line on that drawing represents discomfort, risk, and utter exhaustion for the men inside. The design was advanced for its time, but the experience was primitive and brutally human. Inside this pioneering machine, nothing felt futuristic at all. Thanks for watching. If you found this glimpse into history interesting, please like this video and subscribe for more stories from the past.